Here's something nobody tells you about intelligence. It's not the gift everyone thinks it is. Society sells us a beautiful lie, that being smart means having all the answers, making perfect decisions, and living an easier life. But here's the brutal truth that psychology reveals. High intelligence doesn't solve your problems. It transforms them into something far more complex and exhausting. Right now, there are millions of highly intelligent people walking around feeling mentally drained, emotionally disconnected, and secretly wondering why life feels so hard when they're supposedly smart enough to figure it out. If you've ever felt like your mind is simultaneously your greatest weapon and your heaviest burden, if you've ever wondered why you feel so tired even when nothing is technically wrong, then what I'm about to share will finally make everything make sense. This isn't about motivation. This isn't about positive thinking. This is about the real psychological cost of having a brain that won't stop analyzing, questioning, and processing every single moment of your existence. Let's talk about the hidden struggles that no one warns you about. 1. Your mind rarely slows down. Highly intelligent brains are built for continuous processing, and this is both a superpower and a curse. Psychological research shows that higher intelligence is linked with stronger internal thinking activity. Your brain automatically analyzes information even when it doesn't need to. After conversations end, your mind replays them, dissecting every word, every pause, every subtle expression. After decisions are made, your mind questions them endlessly, running through alternate scenarios and potential consequences. Even during rest, your thoughts keep moving. This isn't the peaceful daydreaming that others experience. It's a constant stream of analysis, connections, and problem-solving that never truly stops. This constant mental activity isn't anxiety by default. It's cognitive depth. The problem is that your brain struggles to switch off, and over time, this creates mental exhaustion that feels impossible to explain to others. You experience sleep problems because your mind won't quiet down when your head hits the pillow. You feel emotional fatigue that has nothing to do with physical tiredness. People tell you to just relax or stop overthinking, but they don't understand that your mind doesn't have an off switch. You're not weak. You're not doing anything wrong. Your mind simply works overtime, processing reality at a depth that most people never experience. 2. You get bored faster than others. Intelligent minds process information quickly, and this creates a unique kind of suffering. Psychology shows that when information is processed too easily, the brain stops releasing stimulation chemicals like dopamine. This means repetitive tasks, slow conversations, and predictable routines feel mentally painful, not just boring, but actually uncomfortable. You lose interest fast. You disengage without meaning to. You feel restless even when everything is objectively fine. This boredom is often misunderstood by others as laziness or lack of discipline. Teachers, bosses, and even friends might think you're not trying hard enough or that you lack focus. In reality, your brain needs complexity, challenge, and novelty to stay engaged. Without it, motivation disappears completely. The tragedy is that most of life is designed for average cognitive processing. School curriculums move slowly to accommodate everyone. Jobs involve repetitive tasks. Social routines become predictable. For someone with high intelligence, this feels like being forced to walk when you're built to run. The world feels too slow, and you're stuck trying to maintain interest in things that your brain solved or understood long ago. 3. You feel isolated, even in social settings. Highly intelligent individuals often think and communicate differently, and this creates profound loneliness. Psychological studies suggest that intelligence influences interests, humor, values, and conversational depth. You don't enjoy small talk because it lacks meaning. You don't feel energized by shallow social interaction. You want conversations that stimulate your mind, that explore ideas, that go beneath the surface. When those connections are missing, loneliness appears. Not because you dislike people, but because you struggle to find mental resonance. You can be surrounded by others and still feel emotionally alone. This isolation is cognitive, not social. You're not antisocial or difficult. You're simply searching for a level of connection that most casual interactions don't provide. Social systems. Psychology links higher intelligence with lower conformity and stronger analytical reasoning. You don't follow rules just because they exist. You want to understand the logic behind them. You question systems, traditions, and authority figures. This makes you adaptable and innovative, but also creates conflict in rigid environments. Schools, workplaces, and social systems often reward obedience, not thinking. So you may feel restricted, misunderstood, or frustrated by systems that discourage questioning. When you ask why too many times, you're labeled as difficult or rebellious, even though you're simply trying to understand. This constant friction wears you down. You're told to just follow the rules or that's just how things are done, but your mind can't accept arbitrary structures. This doesn't make you arrogant, it makes you intellectually honest. 5. You experience stress on a deeper level. Higher intelligence increases awareness, and awareness is a double-edged sword. You see patterns, risks, and consequences others overlook. Psychologically, this leads to stronger anticipation of future problems. You think about long-term outcomes, global issues, personal responsibility, meaning and purpose. This deep awareness increases vulnerability to chronic stress and existential anxiety. You're not imagining problems, you're processing reality more fully. But without emotional balance, this awareness becomes mentally heavy. You lie awake thinking about climate change, societal collapse, the meaning of existence, your mortality, and whether anything you do actually matters. These aren't dramatic thoughts for you, they're logical conclusions your brain reaches when it processes information deeply. 6. You struggle with perfectionism. Intelligent people can clearly imagine ideal outcomes, and this becomes torture. Psychology links intelligence with high internal standards and strong self-monitoring. You notice flaws instantly. You feel dissatisfied with average results. You delay action because you fear imperfect execution. This leads to procrastination, frustration, and self-criticism. Perfectionism doesn't come from arrogance, it comes from clarity. You see what's possible, and anything less feels uncomfortable. Your standards are so high that starting feels pointless unless you can do it perfectly, which is impossible, which leads to paralysis. 7. You often feel misunderstood when you speak. Complex thinking creates communication challenges. Psychological research shows that people with high cognitive ability often think faster and in more layers than conversation allows. Your ideas feel too complex to explain quickly. Your points get simplified or ignored. Your intentions get misunderstood. Over time, this teaches you to stay quiet. Not because you lack confidence, but because explaining yourself feels draining. Being intelligent doesn't guarantee being heard, and eventually, silence feels easier than constant miscommunication. 8. You analyze your emotions instead of expressing them. Highly intelligent individuals often intellectualize feelings. Psychology refers to this as cognitive distancing, using logic to manage emotional experiences. Instead of feeling emotions fully, you analyze them. Instead of expressing pain, you explain it. This protects you from emotional overwhelm, but it can block emotional intimacy. People may feel you're emotionally distant even when you care deeply. Your mind understands emotions, but your heart struggles to release them. 9. You are extremely hard on yourself. Intelligence increases self-awareness. You understand your strengths, weaknesses, and potential clearly. This awareness becomes a constant internal judge. You don't compare yourself to others. You compare yourself to the person you believe you should be. Psychology links this to chronic self-evaluation and internal pressure. Without self-compassion, intelligence turns into self-criticism. 10. You struggle to feel fully satisfied. Highly intelligent minds are goal-oriented. Once one goal is achieved, your brain moves on to the next. Psychological studies show that this forward-focused thinking reduces long-term satisfaction. You rarely pause to enjoy success. You struggle with simple happiness. Your mind is always searching for improvement. You're not ungrateful, you're wired to keep moving forward. Final message. If this video felt deeply personal, understand this: your struggles are not flaws. They are the cost of depth. Intelligence doesn't just sharpen the mind, it intensifies awareness, emotion, and responsibility. Your exhaustion is real. Your isolation is valid. Your frustration with the world makes sense. You're not broken. You're not too much. You're simply operating with a level of cognitive complexity that most people never experience. Understanding this won't make it easier, but it will make it make sense. And sometimes, that's exactly what you need.